Hello everybody, today I want to take you on a walk. Today I really want to talk to you about nature, about gratitude and nature, about photography and nature, and also about the stillness in nature. The beautiful thing with nature for me is that whenever a new season comes around, I get very excited. And it really doesn't matter if it's spring, summer, autumn or winter. It's always the same and it never stops. I'm now 25 years old and I have not lost that excitement whenever a new season comes. So today I'm really excited. It's a bit frosty outside. It's cold, and even though still a lot of things are green, there's also that white, glittery, silvery glow of the frost on grass and everything. It's such a beautiful morning outside. I love when the leaves and grass gets a little bit frosty, and yeah, it's wonderful. And I never get to go outside at this time of the day, but actually it's my fault because I never go outside. Now I do have a bit of time because I don't have a job where I have to attend to, but I can do my videos whenever I want to. So I'm glad that I'm outside right now because it's beautiful. So welcome to the forest. That is the forest I mostly go to, or that I like best, because it's just very natural and you can hear the birds, and it's just a very calm space where nature can be a bit in between houses in the city. Today I also wanted to talk about gratitude, in a sense that a lot of things that are going on in this year in our lives that are just circumstances we cannot change, and I think that's okay, and we don't have to think that we can change everything and decide all the time. But there, on the other hand, are some things that we can change and that we can have an impact on. And we cannot have an impact on all of our circumstances, but some we can change. And the same, I think, goes for our mindset and how we feel. There are certain things happening to us, and it's absolutely okay to feel bad, to feel disappointed. Nobody should be telling us that we should be happy all the time or something like that. But on the other hand, you can do some things, and it's always good to know what the things are that make you happy or that make you feel better, or that are just coping mechanism if things get really, really hard. So for me, definitely one of the things is nature. I love nature so much, and it brings me so much joy. And over the past few years, sadly, I've sometimes lost that a bit. By moving to the city, I didn't know where to find nature that I liked, and also just by growing up and not having that much time, or I thought I don't have time to spend time in nature. But during the past year, and I've also talked about that in another video that I will link you up here, the lessons or the things I've learned this year especially. But I learned that nature just brings me so much joy that I should prioritize it. And so now I love to go on walks, and I still think I'm not doing it enough, but I want to do it more and more because I just see that it's such a good thing. And I think there are many people experiencing the same, and it doesn't have to be crazy nature, strange ecosystems we haven't ever seen before. But sometimes a nearby forest does it as well, and sometimes it's just beautiful as well to be outside, to enjoy a bit of the weather, like the frost that we have this morning, or just nature, a few plants. That's one thing I wanted to say, that I'm so grateful for nature and so grateful for this connection, or for just being able to appreciate it and sometimes take the time to slow down a bit and go on a walk. I mean, it's a privilege to have the time to do that, of course, I know that. It's also a privilege to live near a forest that maybe is in the city and not that big, but still it's beautiful. And so I appreciate that so much. I'm so happy to have these things, but I also want to use that more. I also want to give myself permission to go on walks, to make it a priority even more, to actually look after myself and do things that make me happy. And so gratitude in the sense of focusing on the good things and also focusing on the good and little things can be very powerful, I think. And yeah, we cannot change everything, but we can change and choose what to focus on. And again, I really don't want to say that if you are stressed, that's super normal. If you have problems, that's normal. There have been so many things happening this year that can stress us out. But it's still possible to sometimes focus on things that are beautiful, focus on things that make us happy. And that is something I want to encourage you to do more, and that I want to encourage myself to do more. So I really like going into nature because I know it helps me being happy, it helps me being thankful for the things that I have, for the things that are here right now, and not worry too much about the things that could not happen in 2020, that maybe are not possible in 2021. Things like traveling, things like, meeting friends, and so I like the forest, I love it. And it's a good place for me to get happier. So I hope you have things like that in your life too, and let me know what the things are that make you happy, that you know you can go to or do, that will lift your mood and make you appreciate the presence and even 2020. Another thing I want to talk about is photography, because photography is one of the things that has always helped me with going outside, feeling that gratitude, actually appreciating the little things. So I started taking photos when I was 9 years old. I think it has been a dream of mine, taking photos, having a camera for much longer, but that was when I finally had my first camera, and I was really interested in it. And the main thing I think that photography gave me, or still gives me, is the possibility to come into this flow state of working. And I don't even know if I'm using that word correctly, but as far as I know, it's when you are in a state of concentration where it's easy to work. So it's not too complicated, it's not too easy, it is kind of challenging, but it's a good kind of challenging. And that happens to me when I'm taking photos. I try to get the best pictures, I try to capture the beauty that I see, and I'm just taking photos, and I could go on for hours. There's nothing that wants me to stop. There's nothing that makes me stop until like the light has changed so much that I can't take the pictures anymore, it's dark, or I need to do something else. But taking photos has really been something that makes it possible for me to appreciate the beauty, because I can take like pictures of the frost that is beautiful on the leaves, or I can take pictures of the sunlight or a sunset, or just all the things that are so beautiful. And on one hand, I think photography is a great tool to appreciate it more, to actually look through the lens and try to capture it like that. But on the other hand, sometimes it almost feels like you miss the point when you take pictures, and that's something I felt a lot as well, that when I'm so focused on taking pictures and so focused on getting the best frame, getting the best shot, having everything right technically, that I forget to appreciate, or that I cannot take the time to just appreciate the nature or the spectacle or whatever is going on. That's, for example, the case for Northern Lights. For Northern Lights, it's always a bit challenging finding the right settings, I think at least, because maybe I'm not as experienced, but whenever I saw these crazy Northern Lights, I was so focused on taking pictures of them, so focused on adjusting the settings on my camera, that sometimes I kind of missed to just appreciate the moment. But on the other hand, I think if I wasn't into photography, and if then I would have missed a lot of other things, because it has happened a lot of times that I just went outside because I thought, oh, it's beautiful, I will try to take a picture. And if I wouldn't have been so interested in photography, I would just stay inside. So a lot of times, actually today as well, I knew I wanted to shoot a video in the forest, and so I thought like I have to go outside. I got up at breakfast and prepared everything to go outside and shoot this video, but I did not know it has frost outside. I did not know how nice like the forest is like steaming from the sun, and so I would just have missed all of that if I didn't plan to do a video like this. And so I think it's a balance. In the future I want to focus more on just sometimes putting away the camera to appreciate the moment fully, but on the other hand I want to get more into photography again, to sometimes have that little push to actually go outside, to actually experience something, and to actually focus maybe on like the small things, and to actually not just walk by and think, oh, it's pretty, but to go down on my knees maybe and to look at it and to see how beautiful it actually is, because that like sparks so much gratitude and so much so many happy feelings in me, to just be being able to look at these beautiful, beautiful things. Another thing that has really brought me so much when it comes to photography has again to do with nature, and that is stillness. Because when I'm just going on a walk, I usually walk, so I have all the noises of walking, and it's never really still. And just because, I don't know, we humans tend to want to be busy or something, or I am that way, I never really take the time to just be still, to just not walk and not talk and not do anything, to just appreciate the calm and still environment. And photography has made that possible, because if you take pictures in the dark, maybe you have to have long exposures. So sometimes you sit there, your camera is on a tripod, and you press the button, like you press the shutter, and then you have to wait for 1 minute until the picture is done. And in that minute, usually, I would just sit there and appreciate my surroundings. If that's like a lake where you can hear the waves crashing, or like just silently making their noises on the shore, or if it's like just wind or birds, a forest or anything like that. It's amazing, and it gives me that opportunity to be still. And now today I want to end this video with a little bit of stillness. You can of course go away, watch another video, but if you want, you can appreciate the stillness of the forest for another few seconds. I hope you like this video, and if you want to see more, I'll also link you to there. You can watch in the end, but then I hope you have a still and amazing time, and I'll see you next time.